Hello, lucky souls, and welcome back to another podcast episode of Lucky from Within. In this podcast episode, I actually want to talk about maybe a controversial topic, and the way that I've titled this particular podcast episode, you might be like, what? Being an empath is actually going to lead me further away from my manifestations? What the hell are you talking about? So bear with me because this is such a powerful topic that I want to talk about today. And I am right now sitting in the most beautiful podcast studio as I record this particular episode. It's actually a photo shoot location and there's a podcast studio upstairs. And I decided, you know what? This podcast is massive, right? I desire to speak to thousands on this podcast episode. And in my fourth dimension, so the identity that I have tapped into and tuned into is already speaking to the thousands. So how can I make the decision from that space to embody her? So this decision was made from her rather than my current identity. So it is so beautiful and powerful. And I think I'm going to create a podcast episode next week talking about identity and goals versus identity and how to actually step into your elevated identity. So stay tuned for that. But coming back to why being an empath may actually be leading you to further away from your desires. So when I'm talking about being an empath, I always hear this from, people and clients coming into my world of, I'm an empath, so I just take on people's energy. I can't even walk out into the world without having some sort of protection because I just take on people's energy so easily and I take on people's beliefs so easily, la-di-da-di-da. And I used to be this person. I absolutely get it. I used to be the person who would take on people's energy. And I want to be clear here is that I am an empath. I can feel other people's energy. And even when I'm on calls with clients, I know exactly where their energy is going and helping them transmute that in order to, raise their vibration and their frequency. But what I'm talking about here is actually being the empath who takes on people's energy, right? So over the Christmas period, you would have been around a family, or if you weren't around a family, that is completely fine as well. But speaking from my own experience, and family members of my family and, family members of my partner's family have certain beliefs and energy that don't align with us anymore because we have been embodying this work and we have been rewiring beliefs. And you might be at that certain stage as well. So going back to hanging around family, you would have noticed the separation. You would have noticed beliefs come up and energies in the room. And being an empath who takes on the energy and absorb it, I used to have this belief that if I take on other people's energy and absorb it, then my vibration is actually going to go down. I am not going to be in alignment with my desires anymore until I clear this energy. So that was my belief that I used to hold. But why I choose not to hold that belief anymore is because we are always going to come into contact with people who have a lower vibration or they have certain beliefs that don't align with what you choose to believe. Because I always say this, you don't actually have to choose to believe the same beliefs that I believe. It's about having the beliefs that serve you. So you can ask the question, the internal question of having the belief that you're an empath that takes on people's energy and allows it to affect your vibration and make it mean that you're not aligned with your desires anymore when you're around those people. Is that belief serving you? Because we are always going to come into contact with people who have beliefs that we don't align with or that have vibrations that we don't align with. And most of the time we can't avoid it. Yes, we talk about, not hanging around those people as often because they don't align with your timeline, which is totally fine. But sometimes when it comes to family or even just walking outside, we can't avoid that. And this was such a huge aha moment for me, having this awareness of that, hang on a second, I can actually choose a different belief. I can actually choose to not allow other people's energy to affect my own energy. That's when everything changed, because I took my power back and I said, you know what? I am not allowing these people to affect what I do and I don't attract. Yes, I will put up boundaries. Yes, I will put up energetic boundaries, physical boundaries to say, hang on a second, these people don't align with me and the timeline and where I'm heading. So I choose not to hang out with them as often. But if I do happen to hang out with them, I am choosing the belief that yes, I am an empath. I can feel someone's energy when they walk into the room, but I choose not to take on that energy. And I choose not to take on their beliefs. I can have awareness around their beliefs, and if they ask me, I can help them. But I'm just over here doing my own thing. And this has been such a game changer for me, right? And it's really asking yourself, do I want to take on this, this new belief of saying, hang on, I'm going to take my power back. I'm not going to let other people's energy affect my energy, because it's all beliefs. It's all a mindset. And you can shift that at any single moment. Any single moment. So if you have to go out for a family lunch or dinner, that's actually not going to affect your vibration, because you're in your own empowered world. You know exactly where you're going. You are up leveling. You are rewiring beliefs. You are in spaces that help you do this as well. You're in inspiring spaces. And that's the beauty of having this online space. Like, you can literally go to YouTube, what you are doing right now, or, listen to a podcast episode on your phone, which is going to allow you to up level your life. How freaking amazing is that? I always, every time I sign up to a new mastermind in the program that I'm in right now, I am so grateful, because I get to walk outside and my external reality, or, I live on the Sunshine Coast here in Australia. So it's a smaller place. There's not as many, entrepreneurs or people doing massive things, but I get to tap into that energy and that frequency wherever I am. So you don't have to go to a certain place to create the life that you desire. You don't have to not hang out with the certain people to create the life that you desire. You get to be in charge of your own energy, your own frequency, where you are going, who you decide to listen to, who you decide to hang out with. It's all you. You get to make that decision. So this year, I invite you to take your power back, to lean into your own energy and create the identity. Lean into her. Plug into spaces that will help you stay in that frequency and that energy. Because the only time we are out of alignment with our desires is because we've decided to be out of alignment, not because of anyone else's energy. So yes, you're an empath, which is beautiful. Being an empath is the most incredible, beautiful thing because you get to feel other people's energy. You get to, feel when someone's sad and be there. You get to help transmute their energy so that they can raise to a higher timeline, which is beautiful. So it's not actually about being the empath, but really it's about being the empath who is allowing other people's vibrations, beliefs, thoughts, feelings affect where you decide to go. So I invite you to go within, create the lucky identity from within, because the lucky identity doesn't allow other people's vibration to affect where she's going. So this is everything that I wanted to talk about on today's episode. And I'm just wishing you, not even wishing you, I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is going to be so transformational for you. And remember that the lucky always comes from within. Until next episode.